am that I am. I am that I am often.
I am not today. I am not tomorrow. Often.
I am that I am. I am that I am often.
I am that I am. I am that I am. No change.
I am that I am. I am that I am often.
Oneness.
No resistance.
Oneness.
No resistance.
Often, openness includes examination. And then the Shia, and I said the chair, often the Bokari. I'm a man saying that. May I have action? And Yanti are seer or Paya and then the Intia in back often the Shia, the Beshas.
Ofem's religious thoughts. Ofem is the acronym for Openness in Faith End-Time Mission. Ofem is a religious and spiritual group that encourages all other major religious and spiritual thoughts. There are other many religious and spiritual groups in the world, which were all founded with the sole aim to infusing religious and spiritual teachings in the masses from time to time. I write religious and spiritual because religion leads to spirituality.
Okay, thank you. Often, OFEM. Agent Homa openness in faith and times. Often, a religious to spiritual group. A J, a soon year two. A soon ahodoa a will be a say, the India by and say, a song and a home church at the minute. It's natural religious to spiritual. Because if you are religious, it will lead you to spirituality. Now, some of your topic here, Ofem's religious thoughts. Often, our thoughts, as far as religion is concerned, the yarding and the same. And I yet, and not to know you say, a summer hodo. One said, a summer hodo, the way we are saying, religion. There are societies, there are groups. And they share religion. So some are religious groups, some are spiritual groups. Yami na no mo time say, "Omode esomone human church there, ebe wura people." But you just enter us.
Mankind has always searched for answers to our existence and to be able to find out what is behind all that we see, and also find out our relationship with Him.
The people really say you don't need the one number the say you go the moment I dream about you have embarked on the path of religion or spirituality. The be free and be here, sadly about you, like I said, what started and then to religion or spirituality. And it's say, when you're sad, you say, me, there, or man, no one just said, you get me who is saying now. Why the put na shall everything, they make a motor say. Samunya Santia said a pet. Now, fair, now I shall say, one one's eye. Say, to me, Peter, when in India, men and Peter would be to say. That is why what I meant by the answer to your existence and to be able to find out what is behind all that we see. And then to find out our relationship with that thing. The entire one to me, men the class animal. There is actually Peter who gave an then you have embarked on religion or spirituality.
The power of and energy behind everything we see, and things we do not see but feel also exist, is what all major religious and spiritual thoughts are trying to unravel. This power is called differently in all these thoughts. Allah, YAHWEH, God, MYO HO, Life Force, PARAMATMA, PARAPURUSA, NYANKOPON, CHINEKE, the absolute, super intelligent, etc. Depending on the understanding each thought has about this power or energy.
The only say, Bibia you, the enemy. Ana Bibia, you fear new motion, in your tinkasa elbow. You make I say, what in all your tinkasa did you or go over when you. Ana dear, you winning na. The suma would do a person who you say, or more per se, dear you, South Trimina a car signing with you, as soon as so good to you. There are things we see and the things we don't see. Our relationship with the power behind the things we say we don't see. It is what religion or spiritual groups want to unravel. And it's all what's not the BSA. Fine, we are looking at Sunday. That's the intention. And fact, Kassam fact, Saubati Abrabase. Actually, what Blessed said, there's a power behind everything that we see. And the young shares our power, no. Then be careful with the place. Then it is just like having an ordinary physical society too. Because there are so many societies too. But what says like motivational speakers. This a religious or spiritual book is not about motivational speaking. It is about helping you to know. Motivation can be said to everybody. Now, share with Christ. Okay? But then to unravel the mystery of existence in your life, it's not about motivation. It is teaching you, helping you to know. Now, I know, and I was saying, soon be at the A. This actually not a time in the dear, as soon as I won't do the BRC was a to do. You have Allah, YAHWEH, God, MYO HO, Life Force, PARAMATMA, PARAPURUSA, NYANKOPON, CHINEKE, the absolute, super intelligent, along Urubare, we can name them. Now, a thing I must actually with Ntiasia, your work and the dinner shooting. Because YAHWEH, you are not sure who knew and can say, to me, a guitar body in your friend say. Then, through our own observation, and I will say, there might be a power and energy behind all these things. And it might be like this. It's very truly the same. Until well, I can't cast them. A dinner doors. I can't cast them. A dinner of one here. The YouTube said, to me, be a board, the answer of one here. A dinner on YANKOPON. The YouTube said, Bravo, so be and down for your poor. There's your young power chain of going in a young part or so. A chain will be a dear a such the answer a upon the NYANKOPON. So, in that context, we see God as our greatest friend. Yes, in Yammy, the open Yamu, we are Candiana a yofa, one mean, yes, Piano one mean. Anything that you get to be fulfilled, we say you are full, F-U-L-L, and it's a woman. The Asante Casa, when I can't don't say it's to so, Obispa Casa PARAPURUSA in sanction, meaning super consciousness. Obakasa PARAMATMA, meaning super soul. Obakasa MYO HO, meaning the mystic law. Your maybe and one there's a mystic law. Your maybe a one. And he said, the Nipanese tip to me, Nassero, and on the other. I don't say, since for big PARAPURUSA, and the Nyanyaman or Katu. Obika CHINEKE, Wanka Atana, and I say, yes, I can walk out. Nanka Nina Case, Sarah Taponeka CHINEKE. Nkanya Case, Alatani Anka, acronym as a date, CHINEKE NYANKOPON. It is neither here nor there. You name the power based on how you understand it.
These thoughts have one thing in common. Humans are not their physical bodies, and life as we see it is like a drama or a dream. They all teach the main reason of our existence, to be able to know our real identity outside our physical bodies. The major thoughts do not forget to teach about how to live meaningfully in this physical life, despite searching for our true identity as spirit beings.
Okay. Once I become thoughts, in terms of religion or spirituality, thought. The Anglican Church has a thought. The Catholic Church has a thought. Christianity has a thought. Islam has a thought. Hinduism has a thought. Buddhism has a thought. This one said the followers, they have different thoughts in them, the one. But they have one thing in common. What they have in common is religion beyond spiritual side beyond you are not this physical body. Every religion. Now, Abraham boy had to say Sini. And that's also like when you are busy, you are 2 jam. Or 2 amanone. And now one of the watching I won't do with you. Okay. And decided also like, and you see, so what you are busy, something that will be. One of those also like. One of those say you have been dreaming, you have been dreaming. The person was not even around, whilst you thought he was around. So they will teach you, say, be here to say that. Intina ya kanchira say, enunti, enam say yenya honam we assume nyina ka ho. Nti asa obi ahwehwe de boy yankasa. Every religion teaches this. So na be breakthrough training. That is why I say, let's focus on the common grounds. Religion bia no baka say wa wuni. Say wa wuni a ene wona nan kan so ana no onwen no wen. Is no more. What he has said, so you are not the body. So every religion will teach you like that. And you know what I was saying is how they tell you here. Nipa outside this physical body. Now major thoughts no. Maybe na chi omo fi say omai ma on chire say obaba abrabo pa no ahwe omudi. Ewomu side it is about knowing your true self. But religion don't also forget say Mobrapa you say code of ethics and morality like ahimsa in yoga. Like so many things are actually in Islam, so many things are actually in yoga, so many things are actually in Buddhism, and yes, spiritual, and yes, physical. Some branch you say, Ababa you say, religion, Papa Pia doesn't forget to teach the youth how to live physically right, because physically say we are comfortable and our peace of mind now develop with the out there. So all these religions have these things in common. Yes or no? Yes.
In order to live a balanced life, these thoughts have enumerated a lot of ways we must follow in order to achieve this aim.
Okay.
The teachings within these thoughts may be different in their presentation, but the idea is the same across board.
Listen, teachings, why we open man, they say offend member, who say a people. But there's difference in presentation. Major religion do not make fasting in what? There's fasting in Christianity. There's fasting in Islam. There's fasting in Hinduism. So why fight? When the Hindus are using the Kadashi dates based on the phases of the moon. Hello? Islam is using Ramadan, which is a moon. The Catholics are using the Lent period, which is a phase of the moon. Mungina no draw inspiration from the phases of the moon or the appearance of the moon. Now they are fasted. Then we sit down and fight amongst each other. So the teachings may be different in their presentation, but the idea is the same across board. Islam, there is fasting in Ramadan to instill discipline in us. In Hinduism and yoga, there is fasting on Ekadashi date to instill discipline in us. In Catholicism and some other Orthodox churches, there is fasting during the Lent period, yes, sir, also to instill discipline in us. We are fasting at different times of the year to instill discipline and spiritual growth in the members. We are not yet. Then we are say we are fasting or Lent in the Catholic. Why? The Catholic will say the Muslim is performing Ramadan or fasting in the month of Ramadan. Why? Then the Muslim will say the Hindus are using the moon phases in Ekadashi to fast. Forgetting say Islam is also using the appearance of the Ramadan month to fast. If you are open-minded, now I come at you. Then they can watch the teachings. The same thing. Ramadan is a moon. So we fast in Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. And people are also fasting during full moons. Lent is about the moon. That is the reason why Lent fasting and you're fixed. It changes every year. Ramadan changes every year. Ekadashi fasting days changes every year according to the phases of the moon. You are all using the moon as an inspiration to fast. But yet we are saying the Ayass, the method.
Mankind have over the years lived very parochially with followers of the various thoughts, always trying to impose their thoughts on each other, thus branding the rest as lost ones.
When we say parochial interests, hello, and I'm so mankind has over the years lived very parochially with followers of the various religious thoughts, always trying to impose their thoughts on each other, thus branding the rest as lost ones. And I'm one. One didn't change why that parochial interest. Many may say into any meaning, may say to any meaning, who did the Yankee? No one knows I say, where I and I had. Then I Ubia, Sumana Heroes, Ubia Heroes will be here. Yankopon the Flamen to the answer. So one brand as lost one. This is what Ofem'S says you don't want to do in Russia.
This idea of one is lost has been responsible for a lot of chaos, fights, disrespectfulness, insults, and even wars among the people. These thoughts.
Say what? Say Obia Yiranti, a soon when you buy Yiranti. Oye ya no Chimenya Kosu, who are dear Sumana Tensa. Not some back on Swati, no sorry reply. Not some back on Swati, no sorry reply. Shamefully enough, they all say they are preaching for God. And then to Baba, the man in Buama, we are just and there yet, they are to be so bad. They say of him, a bit war, and yet fight of pure war, Abba. Christians against Muslims, Hindus against Muslims, other religions against each other. Pure war, a pure, yes, again. So, what do you know? What is the cause? The feeling that one is lost is the problem. Another one.
Ofem'S says, if these thoughts really understand that they are all searching for the same thing, they wouldn't have been fighting and insulting each other. It's clearly a sign of deep ignorance.
The often can say these thoughts, these groups, say I'm passing, or women are every share and dear back woman. And compare the aqua do matter. Then you have to share dear back. And the very apple a dear matter. Let me say, this is clearly a sign of deep ignorance. The moment I better say will be from a religious group. Or cassette will begin at them and branding and set wire ignorance. This is what Ofem'S against. See, and yes, I say we are, and I'm a song so empty, never listen. Someone will say a song and yantia city ne some political ideas, and if I say everywhere when I'm moving. What other countries think is good, and I'm saying, and I'm moving. So religions, despite so they are what they did. Extra says so many in the form we shall be back. I compare notes, go beat me and can answer by the edge. That the middle people, you believe not with your spiritual religious ideas, but what the world says. Because religions don't want to coexist. The empty shall be
Often says, let all thoughts live in harmony and giving complete ideas as to how to unravel the essence of life.
Yeah, make an the offer, they make an. May say, young international dream, the young compare ideas. That in young, never won't be asking them soon. Now, why? No, why? YAHWEH are better soon. Let's compare ideas. Let the Buddhists bring their Lotus Sutra. Let the Hindus bring their Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas and the Upanishad. Let the Muslims bring their Quran. Let the Christians bring their Bible. Let the Judaism bring their Talmud. Young folk singing to the young person. They make how much yes. To be interested, let me put the other boy all together. And so they make a young. See, I know so I can say, it is a how. Some young Christian, you learn something from the Quran. And it's a how. So we are Muslim, you learn something from the Christian Bible. Now, one of the way. So Christian can't be from the Quran, but when they go Islam, which I want to read. So Muslim can't put a Bible, or pass some of them teenagers so I'm a Christian, which that is what they read. So when you say there's confusion. There's confusion. This is not the brain at the beginning. Muslims believe Jesus was a prophet. But because a Christian, they can say Muhammad. Muslims say Muhammad. I can say Jesus. But Islam said, if you don't believe in Jesus and Muhammad together, you're not a Muslim. But a name so they can say Muslim, Muhammad. The religion I am. This is what Ofem'S say. But
it's a fact that not everything that we hope to know is found in a single thought. This then calls for an open-minded approach as far as embracing these thoughts is concerned.
Where the can look at a woman say, you're reading now, they need about faculty. The only ring now can never be found in one time. And right. So why not open-minded approach? So much you share after the year only get out the woman. You'll be in trouble.
It's not uncommon to see followers of other thoughts insulting the founders of other thoughts. This to often is highly uncalled for.
It's not uncommon means it is common, so people say followers of other religions and the founders of another religion that can be one. Like Christians insulting Jesus. Like Christians insulting Muhammad Muslims insulting Jesus, and Christians insulting Buddha or Buddhists, and Buddhists will also be insulting Christians anymore. So, today be a day who say followers of religions, any other leaders no swatter. How many times have we heard some Muslims say Jesus is a How many times have we also heard say Christopher should be Muhammad again? So we can believe so. What is not written anywhere. Identity and a summa wound when you're perfect. I'm when you are one in tongue. No, be our brand. And a summa church, the other two uncle. What you want a superman who did nothing. Muhammad left this world more than 1,400 years ago. He says about 2,000 years ago. Now, yeah, we are done here. Buddha left almost 2,000 before Jesus was born. Why are we done here? She never Buddha attractable. She teaches a Buddha attractable. Well, won't you mean the Lord won't you mean a sentence back with you for yourself? What would them dinner them? All because you think Suma will be better than Buddhism. Does it make sense? You have not been able to compare anything. But Enam was so fluent. Who did Muhammad at them? Nipa Enam so Quran by Hadith by the Suma Shita mosque everywhere. If you are proud to be praying, that would be this in Pakistan. Does it make sense? What you want? Who did Jesus at them? Because you are not a Christian. Because you don't follow the Bible. Nipa oninti, we are state Yasisano. 1344 AD, 203 BC, before Christ and after the death of Christ. Nipa oninti, calendar date Yasisano. Now, why would you look at it? Sally, when your religion causes them. Now, all can say, now I have some work. And Moko be our marginal dog subject. How many open minded that? Only what? Now, so open maternal has a war pattern we brought. War pattern we brought. Then I want the about to say yes. Rabbi Muhammad at them, Rabbi Jesus at them, Rabbi Buddha at them. Doesn't even make sense. You have a Bonia who I say, and be a summer who very near international.
What makes it sad is that these founders never came at the same time, and so comparing them doesn't even make sense.
Yes.
Some of them thought according to the level of understanding of the people at that time. Another leader may also come at a different time to either expatiate or present a different approach to what the former taught.
Hello? Dear my Lord, say, leaders no remember the same time, we are compared between Jesus and Muhammad is 600 years. Please. More than 600 years. Who cried with Jesus? Come up with Jesus. When I know with Jesus. When I know with Jesus. 600 years. 600 years of one time more compared. A woman free years in 8,000 for 2,000. Now compare. How do you compare Abraham and Jesus? 2,000 years difference. Why do you know that? How do you compare David and Jesus? About 800 to 900 years difference. Hello? Now, leaders never. How much are they according to the level of understanding of the people at that time? Secondly, if Jesus was to come now, the teachings will be different. Examples he will make will be different. Things he will say will be higher. Because different room had yes, it's one technology wise, the language style will be different. The examples will be different. So they came and spoke to people of at that time. At that time, who to mean kasa aeroplane any example. Who to mean kasa car jeep any example with what. So they talk according to the level of understanding of the people at that time. And until the leader for a bag, also try to say they are all kind. Or better, and all the different approach become but the same message. Now remember, it is about 600,000 years difference. If you want to say, oh, compare, it doesn't even make sense. Emphasize the truth. If you see somebody say, let's compare Jesus and Muhammad, it doesn't make sense. But when you answer us in one, no more bramble, then you can compare them. But one to back now compare. No. Maybe the hardships are real. So when should be shared at that time, I'm going to put them to contribute. You make what you say? Yes. Yes, because they are two different individuals. As some are two ways, so some way or one body and one to me. So you don't compare and get the same time. And so now there was so many Nyamayatra comparing Jesus to Muhammad. A lot of them. Here they said, who is the greatest? Greatest in terms of what? Greatest in terms of what? When I offer the see I'd rather learn more about Muhammad the Prophet and learn more about Jesus. Now my share, not my meaning. They make out here. Say, because me train, me name, don't ask me. Now I'm going to present you more the baby at home. Miss Yanway, now me far away. Now be a good unit here. What I've done nothing for myself and mankind. They make out what is.
We must also know that the capacity of the founders are different depending on their mission. And so a conscious effort to go through the teachings of some of these founders can go a long way to help us also develop and unravel this power. This power we are all searching for to be able to live a meaningful life.
To me, leader be a giver, and yet, we be our mission. It is because of mission we are wanting. Our capabilities may be different, faculty. That is why it doesn't make sense to compare. Until young mom now, I say go through our teachings on certain kind. Make it can be born. Now a boy, that's a tribute. It's in heaven. In tribute, Ben and become master. So be home and put the mission around the world. Jesus came, he left something behind. Muhammad came, he left something behind. And I won't find me now with him. That woman is saying that. Listen carefully. He himself, Buddhism was founded by Gautama Siddhartha, the Sakyamuni Buddha. Not Indian. About 2,000 to 3,000 years before Jesus. Sakyamuni Buddha or Gautama Siddhartha left. When the teachers be princess be by. Then thousands of years later, then that will be PA Japan, the nature nation. And also, Gautama Siddhartha and Sakyamuni Buddha they were trained. Nana or Shah, Nipa at that time, they could not absorb the teachings. They are not also trained as a one. Now, the Oya said, the except Nipa Neil, others say, or Kodun, and Yakopi. So nature naturally came and said, well, we go back, said, the Sakyamuni Buddha, the first Buddha, all the Buddhism by principles are now watching and an person to say to be able to discover the mystic law, that is to be able to discover the energy in you. Chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Hello? Chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So I mentioned that sorry. Actual Buddhism, so now what will you like I said, and I'm saying, if you would do so, would be such a money Buddha. Now, mention that should be new teachings. So we still have people strictly, or would be such a money Buddha. Somebody has said, and if you must be teaching that should be. I'm not teaching that should be. I'm not going to already here. Those who still follow such a money Buddha, they rather meditate. The same message, but presented differently according to the level of the masses. According to the level of the masses, depending level on the bit of market say, saying other founders in the year. Over him, not be the same line. We'll be back to obedience, but a watching. Second one, the banner first one, Anya followers and academic motives. And you know, where the man, a new followers. It shouldn't be that case. You can follow new one and others follow the old one. Monfa are dreaming move because at the end of the day, one in a month to share the bar. But say, new one followers, the old one followers, in the name of God. That is what Ofem is like this. But almost yes.
The biggest problem within the various thoughts is that mind is the best and most right.
Yes.
And this cloud our mind, our mental and spiritual ability to know more. The truth is, each of us is supposed to discover or unravel this power in our own way. And the teachings of the founders are just guides for us. What they taught or teaching is impacting in us what they have discovered. We have to use them as guide to be able to know what is living in each of us. It's not to incite disunity or hatred for each other.
Yes, you're right. Problem can say the same. And soon be as a mind is the best with what? And most right. Yes or no? Sana soon be aka. That is the problem I want. Make them the best. The most right. Since I'm about 3 months, and I don't come or watching and I won't be sabi any open mind. The woman said, I was so obedient to be a man alone. The leaders on the editor Hamaya, they are just to guide us. What is the essence? So we delete the gate, no one discover. Hello? Yes, what is the essence? So we do be able to discover. The ultimately of a sort discover. You are not a dear fan so dear man or dear. There's some will you swear not me there discover. There can say use. Not because disunity. Whatever crime to one will usually get no crime to. Or no man can somebody crime different and look to go get the end to find. They did the attempt. The area of what you will say. Even within the religions, and I find intra-religious violence. Pentecost, one Roman folk, Alice soon I need to journey a folk, one thing. Intra. And no proper enemy. So it is not to incite us to cause unity and hatred, but say a bad boy made the ethnicity of mercy. This is the thought of Ofem, which means to say, if you are a Christian, fine, go and get the Quran and read. Think about it. If you are a Christian, talk about the Bhagavad Gita of the Hindu. Read about it. Nobody is saying go and be a Hindu. Now, so share that you know how to put things together. Then you can develop. Now, when you saw a BTA, somebody may even write something at the comment section. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I know somebody will write. Now, as a Buddhist also, you see what the Buddhist is also right about Buddha. If a Muslim is listening, you see what the Muslim write about Muhammad. You'll be surprised. We have to find them as if they were the best. And he is the best. Because people look back as the best at that time. So when you say I'm the way, the truth, and the life, somebody says, if you miss my teachings, it is more difficult than what Buddha did. So I did pay a woman, every wura in Shiase, and yes, not and if you miss my teachings, I don't do that tonight. Somebody also says, I'm telling you, on the day of judgment, every human being will be under my flag, even Adam, son of Muhammad tonight. Will be able to read. Because I said, if I can't send my book to work, I will be able to make it. Because 1 year, sir, will be able to have a castle man, but can you move the nation into a piano or jelly gas to do? Let me count the witness. That is the reason why John chapter 8, when Jesus was talking with the people of Israel, they were quoting Abraham. Because Abraham, I never be taught that there's nobody apart from Abraham. And I'm one. When Jesus came, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Muhammad says another big statement. The Buddha made another big statement. Even there are some masters of Abba, the same way you want to feel one. Somebody will say, I am the guru of the gurus. And so they, but who are you? One can sound what could do, Beata? What will one physically and spiritually fighting for what? Say, won't you know based on where you are here, then be very careful. So, often that says, let's venerate all major religions because they are branches of the same tree. Simple. Let's go exist. This is the thought of Ofem. The true point YANKOPON Santias, MYO HO. Because never be saying politics entity them. Say my relationship to them up to now. Like I said, meaning beauty a years. YANKOPON now religion, NYANKOPON, international. But this is the thought of Ofem. Amen.